What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ICNV Drives Edition. And today it's another episode with your boy Show. And yes, I'm on my way out for some good content, but I don't think I'm going to share it all with you in this video. But this is going to be an interesting topic. So, right now, I'm behind the wheel of Zeus, and I just left Five Guys. But the thing about Five Guys that kind of sparked this conversation is, I feel like, why do people always want to kind of pick at the younger generation? And so this topic came up because I was in the Five Guys talking to a young gentleman whose name is Jeremiah. If you follow the channel, Jeremiah, go ahead and hit the thumbs up because this video is inspired by you. And I told you I was going to make it. But young man named Jeremiah, we sitting in the restaurant and he was talking to me about my car. And then this older lady comes in, probably in her 50s, and decides to interrupt our conversation. Well, I'm not going to say interrupt our conversation, because I turned to make my order, so she starts talking to him. And then she goes out and puts Jeremiah on the spot into an uncomfortable situation. And I don't understand why people like to do this. So today we're going to hop into this conversation because I feel like it's a real good one and somebody may need to hear this. Let's go. So let's get through the formalities. My name is Show. This is ICNV Drives Edition. We talk about interesting conversations. 90% of them are centered around cars. But every now and then you get a quick vlog like this that may drift off the path of cars. But in essence, it really doesn't because cars brought this whole conversation together. Now, today, if you really like the information you hear and if you can relate to the information, go ahead, hit a thumbs up, drop a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. But let's get back into this. So, as I was explaining first, I was talking to a young man named Jeremiah. This older lady interrupted our conversation. We started talking to Jeremiah. And she said, "Oh, you say your name is Jeremiah?" He said, "Yes." She said, "Do you know where that name came from?" And he told her, yes, it was a biblical name and so forth, and who named him. So then she asked him, "Do you know what the name means?" And he's like, "Well, I read up on it, but I haven't really studied or memorized the full dialect, for lack of a better word, of what the name is actually supposed to mean." Now, to me, I have a very unique name, which we don't have to disclose at this point, but I have a very unique name, and I often get asked that same question. So, as she continued to talk to the young man, I could see he was starting to get uncomfortable because this conversation went from him smiling and talking about cars, something he was interested in, into somebody asking him about his name and trying to tell him why his name is powerful. Now, I am I'm not going to say headstrong, but a firm believer that you should know your history. Because if you don't understand the history or the past, you don't know where you're going forward, and you may make some of the same mistakes. But that is kind of where I draw that line at. So Jeremiah all of a sudden now is stuck into a biblical history lesson, which I have no problem with that. But the problem I have is this really the location for it? Did he really have the time to now feel obligated to sit back and talk to you about the meaning of his name. He seemed to be a well-mannered and correctly raised young man because he respected his elders all the way through the conversation. And I say elders because he respected her and sat there and literally let her take over about 28 minutes of his day. We literally stopped talking. I got food, sat down and started eating, and she was still talking to this young man about his name. So she went on to tell him what his name means and why is it powerful. And then tell him he has some big shoes to follow. And I felt sorry for the young man, because I too used to feel the same way when somebody would come in and start wanting to tell me why my name was significant, what it actually meant, how powerful it was, the type of shoes I had to live up to, and my parents had great expectations for me and so forth. I've been like that through my whole life. And the problem with that is one, you don't want to be disrespectful to anybody because you was raised and taught to respect your elders. Two, the fact that I was given a unique name, or you have a unique name, doesn't have anything to do with you. You didn't choose it. It wasn't like I said, hey, today I'm going to call myself Isaiah. And I changed my name to Isaiah. And now when people say, do you know what Isaiah means? Yeah, because I chose Isaiah as my name. I didn't have that choice. I didn't make that decision. So when you put me on the spot like this, or you bring this conversation to me, especially when I was younger, it was one I didn't really want to have. I wasn't confident or strong in who I was to actually have this conversation with you. So after the conversation took place and the young man felt completely uncomfortable and the older lady felt like she taught him something, she went on her way and he came and sat across from me, not at the same table, the table across to me, and he just had a look on his face like, can my day get any worse? So I turned to the young man and said, didn't see that coming, did you? And he started laughing because I was trying to break the ice. So now I asked him a question. I was like, so do you understand what your name means? And he put his head down. I said, no, I'm not going there with you. I said, but do you understand what your name means? And he was like, what do you mean by that? I said, well, here's my thing. I think this is the perfect time to take a quick break. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the ICNV Drive Edition community. This is an interactive community, so if you hit me up on any one of my social media platforms, I will do my best to respond to you, and I may make a video based off the topic you bring up. So become a member, subscribe to the channel. For all my military members, both active and veterans, I'd like to give you guys a big salute, because we know freedom isn't free, and because of you guys, it's the reason we get to enjoy the things we enjoy and do what we do today. So again, salute to all my military family members, active members, and veterans. But let's get back to this video. And I explained to him my name, and I told him where it came from and what it actually means. And I said, now here's the thing. You have to get to a point where you are confident in who you are. So when people ask me, what does my name mean? I tell them the chosen one. It means a visionary who is meant to break generational curses and change the financial status of his family. It means a hard worker, go-getter, dreamer that accepts hard challenges and accomplishes great things in life. And they was like, wow, that's powerful. No, that's not what my name means. That's who I am. So when people ask me what my name means, it means who I am. Like I tell everybody, I may have a unique name of somebody that lived before me, But my path in life is not that person's path in life. I don't care about what they did with their life because I'm not living their life, and I'm not trying to walk the shoes, recreate, or mimic anything they did in the past. Times have changed. I am not that person, and nor will I be facing some of the same issues that person faced because the times aren't the same. But what I can tell you is who I am, what my name means to me, and the journey I'm taking. And so as I explained this to this young man, he kind of lifted his head up. I said, so the next time somebody asks you, do you know what your name means? Explain to them who you are. And when they say that's not quite what your name means, actually it is, because that is who I am. When I look in the mirror, my name defines me. It defines the walk I have chosen to take. And so this is what my name means. And see, now that I'm older, that's the stance I typically take. So when people ask me what my name means, I just told you. And when you say, oh, but it also means this, no, it doesn't. That's what it meant for that person that came along in life before me who had that name. And technically, we don't even have the same name because our last name is different. So just because we share the same first name, that doesn't mean Greg Johnson and Greg McHenry have the same walking path in life. That doesn't mean Michael Jordan, Michael Thomas, Michael Irvin are meant to walk the same path in life. They don't even have the same careers in life. Martin Luther King, Martin Payne, and Martin Lawrence don't have the same walk in life. So remember that. So just because you may share the name with somebody or because your name is similar to somebody else's does not mean I need to know their history and that their life is so significant that it affects mine. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comments below. Like I said, I'm on my way to Basehead Customs and to meet up with the fellas, but I literally just left Five Guys, and this conversation was eating at me so heavy when this woman did this to this young man that after I had a conversation with him about it and uplifted his spirits and gave him a different viewpoint on how to view his name and how he should handle that question going forward, I had to come out and make a video about it. That's what, to me, what ICNV Drivers is about. It's okay to be unique, and his name is unique, my name is unique, and because of that, you will go through unique situations. But that doesn't mean you should run from them. So, ICNV Drivers Edition. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Please comment on this topic, especially if you can relate to it, because I want to know how you feel about it. Have you ever been put in that situation? And do you feel the same way I feel? Or do you really believe that because you give somebody a name that they have a certain standard to live up to in life? And if you do, please tell me, if your daughter's name Alexis, what standard does she live up to life? When your son's name Mercedes or your daughter is named Mercedes, what standard do you expect her to live up to in life? Because people get names for all type of situations, and it doesn't mean they're wrong. I'm just telling you, this is what happens. So a name to me is just something to give you a title, but you to build on your own. Because I can tell you this right here, there were a lot of more Michaels and Michael Jordans before Michael Jordan came along and changed the basketball game and has been considered the greatest of all time. The Michaels that came along before him, the Michael Jordans that came along before him, they didn't walk the same path. So think about that. But like I said, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the ICNV Drivers community. This is an interactive community. I appreciate when you guys reach out to me or comment in the chats below, or even if you hit me up on one of my social media sites. I always do my best to get back to you, and if it's an interesting topic, I will make a video on it. But always remember to chase your dreams, build your visions, and remember, it is okay to be unique. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will see you in these streets. Peace.